We're making sense of the senseless and destroying the nonsense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Podcast.
Hello, everybody. I'm Devette.
And I'm Travis Lee, and this is the Make It Make Sense podcast, where we try to make sense of the senseless.
This is actually the damage report.
This is the damage report, and I'm Travis Lee.
And I am, on time.
Yes.
Travis, you just threw your phone and...
I did. I threw my phone. That's why I'm all discombobulated. Look, this is the Make It Make Sense podcast network, and this is a show that we do on that network, the Damage Report, and this is where we bring all the damn reports.
All of them. All the reports.
Yes.
We have been, we took a break, a little break.
We took a break.
A little small
But we
break.
weren't like laying on the beach in the sun.
No, we can't afford to do that.
No.
But what we did do was go get checked up. Travis worked on some of his other businesses, and I visited some friends, and now we're back from outer space. And we have so many things.
With that look upon your face.
Yes. Hey, with that look upon your face. We have so many things.
I should have changed my locks, honestly.
Yeah, you should have. I should have made you leave your key. Anywho, but we have so many.
It's hot in here today.
Ow! We're on a roll today.
The damage report. It's the damage report.
Yeah,
we took a break.
Yes.
We're getting to the point. We took a break.
Yes.
We laid back. The vet got checked up.
Yep.
All good.
All good.
We're getting smaller.
Yes.
We're getting bigger. We're getting smaller in different ways.
Yes.
Okay. And some damage happened in the last week, and we got to talk about it. There's two particularly important things that we want to talk about today. But is there any other issues you want to get to first? I know you mentioned the Tate brothers have been on all of our minds lately because we need to know where they are at all times. Right. Because you should know where all the sex offenders are in your neighborhood. And if my neighborhood is the world, which it is, because I am a man of the world, you are a woman of the world, we need to keep our eye on the motherfucking Tate brothers. Because not only are they sex offenders in their own right, but they also have this ability to bring together other sex offenders of like mind, and they have a whole ass following of sex offenderish people, and so we need to keep our eye on all of them at all times. And right now, where exactly are the Tate brothers? Where in the world are the Tate brothers?
I don't know specifically right now where they are, but
we need to track them. We need to keep an eye on them.
Well, currently they have been shipped back to Romania.
Did they ship themselves back to Romania?
No.
I think they did. I think they went willingly. They made a big deal out of the fact that
maybe.
It was a court obligation, but they were like, we're willingly going back. Well, the fuck you say. Like the fuck you say. You really want to oppose Eastern European countries and their system of laws and fuck around and get caught up and end up in a fucking Romanian prison?
Well, they had a court date, so they went back. I don't think they came back here. I think they're still in Romania.
I think they're still there, yeah.
Yeah, because Ron DeSantis was like...
Don't come back to Florida.
Don't fucking come back here. You're not welcome.
And when Ron DeSantis tells you not to come somewhere... Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
that guy is, Ron DeSantis is the keeper of all of the things that are creepy and disgusting. I mean,
a general shithead, but even he has a line.
Matt Gaetz is from his state, y'all. So
when you're despicable to Ron DeSantis, man, you better look at your life.
No, yeah. And I just, I just thought we would give y'all an update. Because we have been talking about them, and everyone should know where all of the sex pedos are at all times. I would appreciate it if somebody could let me know where Drake is. And if y'all just, put it in the comments, anybody know, I got a location on Drake, because we should know where he is all the times. I think he's still in Australia though. So, like Travis said, we have, a couple of just topics that we need to burning topics that we need to talk to you about. And so we're not even going to take a break. We're going to dive into the whirlwind of events that surrounded this week with our favorite at Trumpledeedle D administration that involved a booty call app when you want to cheat on your wife.
Whoa. I don't know nothing about this.
When you want to cheat on your wife app.
Okay.
Or you want to coordinate things with your friends and you're going to protest app.
Or selling drugs.
Or you want to talk to somebody that lives in a different country. We know that app is Signal. And this story has everything that you want in a scandal. Everything. It's got all the moving parts. But we're not dealing with regular people. We're dealing with what, for Travis? What kind of administration are we dealing with here?
Fascist, man.
Yeah,
fascist.
Okay. So
oligarchs.
Elites. What did you say?
Elites.
Oh, elites. Okay.
Corporate overlords, man.
Okay, so I say that
shits.
We're living in Gotham right now, and where's Batman? Because there has to be a Batman, don't you think? Or I just love comic books so much.
That's why Batman's so popular, because there is no one like him on this real world. There is nobody like him. I mean, he's
an amalgam.
But also Bruce Wayne is part of the problem. Bruce Wayne is part of the problem that makes a lot of the villains. A lot of the villains in Gotham become villains because of Wayne Industries.
Well, yeah. I mean, if y'all want to learn about...
really, he cleans up his own messes.
Exactly. So, I was going to say, people always say that, stuff like this isn't palatable, and which is why they don't pay attention to it. There's so many ways to learn about all of the different concepts that we talk about in ways that you don't even know. Comic books, movies, poetry. There's so many different mediums that can teach you about the stuff that we ramble on this podcast about. And so that's why we try to make it funny and palatable. And then you can go out, and we hope to give you all more ways to, figure out how you can consume the things that you want to learn about. So, okay, back to this hee-haw of a hot mess. Okay, so there's a guy named Jeffrey Goldberg. He is the editor-in-chief of a very well-renowned magazine named The Atlantic.
Yeah.
Okay? He was added to a group chat named Houthi PC small group. This chat included the following people, okay? Vice President J.D. Vance, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz. I'm pretty sure Pam Bondi was in there. There was also somebody else in there that was in Iran, but I couldn't figure out who that person was, the name of that person. And then
there were a few other people, and there was also someone that was in Russia that was part of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of our envoys, one of our ambassadors, or whatever. But he was currently in Russia.
Yeah, he was currently in Russia.
And we'll talk about why that was a problem.
Yeah, right. And
right,
so,
but it wasn't an actual. It was reported at first that someone inside of Russia, possibly a Russian national or something, or part of the Russian government was included. That's not the case. It was actually a member of our government, but they were in Russia,
and they were in a group chat.
Yeah.
So it says they were discussing sensitive military operations targeting the Houthis rebels in Yemen. And so Goldberg's unexpected inclusion led him to expose the contents of these discussions, revealing detailed plans about impending strikes. So that there is some layers to that and how that was done, which we'll get to, but that's at the core of the simplistic of what happened. So secondly, we have how the administration responded. You with me, soul brother?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you got it? Okay. You good?
I'm in the timeline.
Okay, all right. So, a lot of people are like, well, somebody got fired, right? Well, initially, the administration tried to downplay the severity of...
First, they tried to deny it altogether.
Oh, yeah. There was like, no, it didn't happen. Oh, what are you talking about?
They tried to deny it at first. Fake news.
Right, that's fake news. So the National Security Council spokesperson, Brian Hughes, confirmed that the authenticity thank you, of the messages, but emphasized that there was no threat to national security. White House Press Secretary, our best friend Caroline Leavitt, defended the officials involved, stating that President Trump maintained the utmost confidence in his national security team, including the dummy Waltz. So...
And then Mike Waltz came out and took responsibility for it, even though it came out that it was basically one of his staffers that did it. Because I don't think that any of these cabinet members are sitting there actively constructing the text chain. You know what I mean? And adding people to it. It's one of their staffers. They say, okay, get Hegseth, get DOJ, get everybody online, Kash Patel, whatever unit, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah,
blah,
Kash Patel was in there.
You know, get everybody, get all the departments, national security and foreign policy departments, get them all in a text chain was the order. You know, and he gave He gave that order to his staffer.
Right.
And then the staffer was the one that's responsible for sitting there and doing the actual phone work on it, right?
Do you think that's who put the fist bump in the...
Yeah. Well, no, I don't think that's who put the... Well, maybe he's the one who actually did the actual typing, but yeah, I did the fist bump.
The fist bump. Okay.
But yeah, but Mike Waltz then finally took responsibility for it and said, it's my responsibility because it was my staffer. I ordered the creation of the group, and we chose to use Signal for whatever reason, even though we have a secure
phone. They should have a phone from a SecDef, right?
Right, and we've got a secure national defense communications system that we don't need to be using Signal, which is considered a securable way, a way that you can secure a text chain, right? But not on a national security level. Not on
it can be subpoenaed for court.
It can be subpoenaed for court, and it's easily hackable by any foreign government, honestly, if they really wanted to get into it, right?
Travis. So
they created this group, and they accidentally, because I've got theories about that too. They accidentally added the journalists to this chain, and he thought it was a joke at first. He thought it wasn't real. He thought he was getting punked or something.
Oh, he did. He was at Safeway. He had just done his grocery shopping.
Imagine. Can you all imagine? You're sitting in the grocery store, just getting out of the grocery store, dealing with all the bullshit, first of all, in there. Okay? In the grocery store. But you make it out. You're thinking about the rest of the errands that you got to run for the day and what you got to get done. Mm-hmm. And you get a text message on your phone.
From the National...
From motherfucking Pete Hegseth and Pam Bondi and Mike Wells. Like, we're going to bomb the shit out of the Houthis. Fist bump, love America.
Yeah, go America.
We're going to make Europe pay for this. Fuck everybody. America's the fucking best. Let the bombs rain, right? And you're like, the fuck is this? The fuck is this on my phone?
And let me
Who is sending me this?
Screenshot it real quick, because
you're like, who's sending me this shit right here?
Right. Who added me to this? Oh, it says right here. Okay, so, I was in the Minnesotas when all of this happened, and I was confused and I couldn't believe it, and I was like, what? And so I was like, okay, this isn't happening. And then there was more text messages, and then he was like, at first he was like, oh no, I'm not gonna tell you what, I'm not gonna show you specifically what they said, but there was plans made and this, that, and the other. And then they wanted to say he was lying. And I'm like, this is why he did it this way. Because he knew they were going to say he was fucking lying.
So he didn't release the receipts at first.
Right.
He didn't release the receipts at first.
He kept his receipts close to his chest.
Probably because he gave them to a lawyer first and said...
Oh, yeah. Look. Yeah, right. If I end up fucking dead... Like, so he was very, very good at what he did. I loved the way he played it.
He was cautious about this shit. He also waited days to write an article about this.
Days.
He waited like about a week or something like that after this happened. Because this happened on like March 15th.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, so it was already, and they already did the mission and killed who they was going to kill.
He probably talked with his bosses about it. I mean, he's the
editor-in-chief, but he talked with the lawyers at the Atlantic.
Yeah, everybody involved. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's the editor-in-chief, you're right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he talked with people, got some advice, wasn't hasty about it, didn't make a social media post about it, probably just secretly freaked out about it for a while.
Right, and just decided.
And then it had to sit back, understand the implications of what exactly happened, and then wrote an article about it because he's a motherfucking journalist, and that's what you do, right?
Right. So, would you like to know what the legal implications are? What was anything action happened? Yeah. Because, there are some things that should be happening, right? Whether they are or not is a whole nother story. So, so then there has been a federal judge who has ordered the Trump administration to preserve all messages from the Signal chat for further investigation. The directive came amid a lawsuit filed by the watchdog group American Oversight, which raised concern about the use of encrypted messaging apps by government officials to potentially evade federal record-keeping logs. So I wonder, how many more Signal group chats are there out there that the government has not seen, and how, what?
Yeah. So part of their big argument is that yes, they made a mistake, and they're finally, Tulsi Gabbard said it in the Senate subcommittee meeting or whatever they were doing. It was actually defense related, that they already had scheduled another defense hearing in the Senate, and they asked them about this over the course of 2 days. Her and Mike Walls and Tulsi Gabbard, and I think
Pam Bondi.
Pam Bondi was there too. Well, I think she had comments separately. I don't think she was at this meeting, and Kash Patel was at the Senate meeting too, but I don't think he had anything interesting to add anyway.
He's not interesting at all.
Their biggest argument was finally when they admitted that they made a mistake is that no classified information was shared. And no military service members were endangered in any way because of this chat, right? Yes. Which is only because it didn't get out, right?
Right.
That's the only reason it didn't get out. This was just hours before the actual strike happened because, like the author of the article said, Goldberg,
yeah.
he said that this happened. He thought he was being punked, and then all of a sudden, he saw in the news reports later that day the bombs started dropping on the Houthis, and they announced that the attack was taking place and everything. He was like, "Holy shit, that was actually real." Let me go back. Let me go back, and now I'm from that understanding that this is actually real.
Right.
The fact that they didn't endanger any American service members or none of this was classified. Maybe it wasn't classified information. Okay, exactly that it was happening. But it was a military strike. It was information about a military strike before the strike happened. If that's not classified information, I mean,
then
on some level.
Here's the thing.
You're not telling the Houthis, are you?
I have never seen a military movie where the attack plan was not classified information. So, Travis.
Up until the moment the first bomb drops.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And then after that, the whole, how many times have we seen movies where they got to go extract somebody?
Right.
And then that whole mission is classified forever.
So it's not about exact troop movements, or it's not about targets. It's not hard classified information about
it's
exactly.
Still classified.
But if the Houthis had gotten that information,
they would have moved whoever.
They would have moved or done something.
Yeah.
Or just moved around. It's harder to hit a moving target. You know what I mean?
They would have been running.
Of course that's classified information.
Travis.
Of course it is.
Travis, it is. Travis, they're playing. Okay?
And as far as not putting our service members in danger, it's only because it didn't get out. If Jeffrey Goldberg decides to be a prick, or he's the wrong motherfucker that you accidentally added to it, he could have endangered these people by immediately posting about this.
He could have posted
on any social media site.
So he could, you know what he could have done? He could have posted without endangering anyone. He could have just posted the first screenshot.
Yeah, you were added to this chat, blah. You know, and no other information about it.
Nope.
He could have absolutely done that. Or, I mean, like I said, if he was less responsible, he could have posted the whole damn thing right away.
Yeah, he could have.
And that certainly would have endangered our service members.
Yep. And so the media response for me was pretty amazing. So I have switched to being an MSNBC girl. I still do watch Caitlin Collins, and then if there's any reports from the All Over the Map, because I'm still a part of that that class, they still contact me. I actually just filled out a survey for them for some story that John is writing, so maybe I'll be in it. I don't know.
Yep.
And so they had 2 interviews with him. With Jeffrey Goldberg, excuse me. Yeah, with Jeffrey Goldberg. And the first one was that was where he didn't give any details, right? So then the second one he was on, it was 45 minutes, okay? And they had I want to call it the public flogging of the group chat. And they went and they read through all the receipts.
He brought receipts.
It was a detailed.
Yeah.
He just detailed reading of the messages.
Yeah.
Highlighting the gravity of the information.
Right.
He also said that the officials in the group chat referred to him as some derogatory terms, they've said some stuff about him. And, as we know that, this sensitive information, even though they want to call it classified information, was handled so just carelessly. No one wants to admit their mistake, right? So Pete Hegseth, he denied that there was any sensitive war plans, like we said. And then he called Goldberg deceitful, and it was a hoax, right? Like, he just made up the group chat. Like, who is out here creating Signal group chats? You know what I mean? Like,
but the rest of them have already said that it's real. Like, they've already admitted to it. So he just makes himself look like more of an asshole when he just denies that it even happened.
Horribly an asshole.
It's his initial reaction. That's a lot of the initial reaction of this movement and their supporters is when they get caught doing anything to first deny. To just completely deny. And then number two, when denying isn't enough, you fucking insult, right? You deny number one, deflect. And then you insult who's ever fucking bringing you this information that you don't like. Marjorie Taylor Greene, we saw a perfect example of her doing it the other day to the British reporter from Sky News. From fucking Sky News, not some fucking fly-by-night motherfucking podcast or something. Motherfucking Sky News. Right. Treating her like an absolute piece of shit.
Right. I can't stand it.
Is you just attack the person and where they're from and everything about them and you just shock them into silence. You know?
Right, because, like...
only it didn't work this time with Pete Hegseth. He looks like more and more of an asshole. And there's growing calls, even from people in his own party, that we need to do something about this dude. 2 months into the administration, we need to do something about this motherfucker.
Yeah, because, everyone who is in these positions, like, they should not be there. Like, I would never sign up to be the head of defense of anything because I don't like defense. Like, I know we have to have some sort of defensive system, right? Like, I'm not naive to that. Yeah. But the trillions, I think we're on, gazillions yet, that we spend on defense is... It is a testament to how much money, how much we piss everyone off.
It is.
Right? Like, am I crazy?
It is, and it's always an arm race against our biggest adversaries too. You know, our biggest competitors. It's always an arm race about who has the most bombs, and you know, it's the mutually assured destruction policy of the Cold War that's still being carried out to this day between us and Russia and China. And you could add a few other countries in there that are really important to, you know, like Germany and England and, you know, a few other places, right? But mainly the main players that everybody needs to worry about are the United States and Russia and China. And we got to keep building because they keep building and they keep threatening and we got to keep threatening. And we always have to be on this posture. And now that we have a complete bully in the White House again, that plays right into his whole fucking mentality. You know, that's of course why we want to go snap up Greenland, you know, because we need a base closer to those shipping lanes and we need a base closer to fucking Russia, a secure base closer to Russia where we can bomb the shit out of them from there. Right. You know, or they think that at least we can, you know.
So
anyway, back to this bullshit.
I mean, it's all connected, Travis.
It is.
You know, Mike Wall said some bullshit about it being the only glitch in 2 months, and I can't even
2 months.
The only glitch in 2 months.
There's still cabinet members, first of all, being still approved. You don't even have a full fucking cabinet yet to vet.
No, because they keep, and then, you know, they did the fake news thing, blah, 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 blah. Didn't work. And then, so what are, like, the potential implications moving forward? So, for me, it raises serious questions about how the administration is handling any sort of classified information. We remember that somebody had a bathroom full at their house.
A bathroom full of classified information.
Right. It was the classified information bathroom. I am waiting. I do these puzzles, and I don't know if Travis has ever seen me do them, but I have these books. They're called Myrtles, and they are these logic puzzles, and they have names for like weird stuff. The names are weird.
Yeah.
And I just was thinking maybe one day he'll like make a bathroom, like the super secret classified document bathroom.
Classified document bathroom reader?
Yeah, or something. I don't know, because
the super secret leaked bathroom document reader?
Yes, like something like that.
Oh, yeah.
But like, I don't, like, if they are just, like, you're the government and nothing of anything is safe there. Think about
secure
this.
Government communications network.
Yeah, you get a phone from the
and also
SecDef.
part of I understand you're using Signal because it's kind of a thing that most of the people on this level have on their phone, and they're loaded onto all the administration's phones. I'm sure you get a phone. You know, when you're part of the administration, part of the team, they give you your official
White House phone, yeah.
Your White House phone, right?
Congress
you
phone,
got your personal phone, but you
yeah.
got your White House phone, your cabinet phone,
But
whatever you want to call it.
But
and
you're also,
Signal was loaded on it,
right,
and they all
but
got
when
it.
you're also
right?
on the cabinet, Travis, you also get a phone from you get a when you're on like working the defense team,
Yeah.
you get a SecDef phone.
Right.
And the SecDef phone is where those conversations should have been happening.
Right.
Not on the Signal.
Right.
They could have used Signal to coordinate, like, hey, we're gonna meet today, but then
get on your other phone.
Yeah, so sometimes potentially those guys have 3 phones,
maybe more, a lot more, and their assistants, and everybody else, and there's a lot of fucking phones going around because of the need for security. Because this is security, national security on its highest fucking levels. No, there was no minutia of the attacks in these plans, but just the intent. The intent itself is national security.
Okay, Travis, breathe. I'm going to make you laugh.
I can't.
I'm going to make you laugh.
No.
Do you want to know what Piers Morgan
No laughing.
Do you want to know what Piers Morgan said?
What did Piers Morgan say?
He labeled it as a shockingly egregious fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like Tommy Lahren had something to say. I mean, I don't know why we care what she's the fast the fuck to say, but and then so let's see. There's been bipartisan calls for investigations, with Senator expressing concern over potential violations of protocols handling services and information. The Senate Armed Services Committee is seeking to determine whether classified information was improperly shared. So there's ally concern. Israel is not happy. And
of course they aren't.
They're not happy. And then the national concern is 74% of all Americans view the incident as serious, and then 53% consider it very serious. There is also...
It wasn't catastrophic. The information or the drop of information, that's not the problem.
No.
Things getting shared like this, and it being preemptive to something horrible happening, it could have been worse, is a very real concern here.
I wonder... Okay, so wait.
You don't let this kind of behavior continue.
Right, let me get through
because the next
this.
fuck
Let me
up
get through
could
this.
endanger lives.
Let me get through this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm writing myself a note,
Yeah.
though.
I'm just pointing. I'm putting a fine point on the fact that this needs to be taken very seriously.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so let me get through this.
Yeah.
So 60% of Republicans are not happy about this. Like the Republican public. Mm-hmm. That's a huge number, right? Like that is a huge number. I wish I had more about what they said.
Yeah, exactly why.
Yeah, exactly why.
Right.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So one thing, this is something that is actually in Project 2025. And so
What part of it?
so it's this like so the restructuring of the executive branch and to consolidate power, right, and reduce checks. And so there's an argument that critics have said that this plan is to undermine democratic institutions and erode accountability. The casual use of an unsecured communications channel, as seen in the Signal chat incident, reflects a broader pattern of circumventing established protocols,
yes,
which aligns with the centralization of authority envisioned in Project 2025.
Right.
So, like, fuck you, we're just going to do what we want.
We're going to do what we want.
And how we want to do it.
And how we want. And we don't trust the systems that are already in place.
Right.
And then when you catch us on something, we're going to blame it on the previous administration or something else. Well, this signal was already on all the government computers and stuff and laptops when we moved in.
Yeah,
when we moved in.
Already on the
Shut
phone,
up.
So why
okay.
Shut up. We should be able to use it. Right? Like,
and we talked about this earlier. So what is the problem with, say, someone in Russia receiving one of these, being on the receiving end of one of these signal text chains, right?
Right. Well, you can. That's a way to hack in, right? Like that's a way they could use to hack in.
It's much less secure than the system that we already have in place for people like this to communicate with each other, the national security system. And it's especially on a local level. So if somebody is locally close to that phone in Russia that's receiving that, and they're mirroring that phone in any kind of way on their laptop or computer or whatever they're doing to try to, because spies be spying. All good countries are engaged in some kind of espionage at all times. Right. And when ambassadors are in your country or people, any kind of dignitaries, you can believe
somebody's spying.
They're spying and they're doing their job, right? And so
being a spy is a job.
It's very real possibility that when this person was on this text chain in Russia, that somebody was looking at the screen of that phone on another screen when he was receiving these messages. And that's a real problem, because then these Russian nationals, or maybe just a rogue actor, or whoever it is that's doing that, and I'm not saying it happened, but it's a very real possibility, could endanger the lives of of United States service members.
And that's not awesome, because
that's not awesome.
That's not awesome at all. Okay.
It's reckless.
It's very, very reckless. Okay, so what would have happened if President Obama was president?
Impeachment. Immediately. Immediate impeachment. Immediate investigations. Immediate lock him up.
Firing. Right.
Immediately.
So there was in 2015, this is not during Obama's presidency, but in 2015, there was wait, it wasn't. Yeah. Wait, yeah, it was during his presidency. There was we've seen officials step down, right? Like something happens and it's egregious, and they do like what most people would do. They step down.
Right.
So in the Office of Personnel Management, or OPM, they call it, there was a data breach in 2015, and the director and the chief information officer, they resigned because there was mishandling of sensitive information.
And it wasn't necessarily them.
Right.
But it was their department, and somebody's got to fall on the sword.
Right. And so that's what they did. Did President Obama, deny it happened? Did he thanked the ladies for their service? Like, what was supposed to happen happened. Nobody was saying fake news. Fox News is fake. Lying at Senate hearings. doing what they did the honorable thing, and I'm sure they're fine, somewhere fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
people make mistakes,
right. Let me see. The other thing is that what I want to talk about before we wrap this up, because this is going to be an ongoing thing that we're going to have to pay attention. Anyone who's out there that listens, thank you for listening to us. But I'm going to get to what we could do as a conglomerate of people to continue to take care of ourselves and to take care of our people. Do you think maybe he added him to tell him so he could leak it to stop it?
I think this is a very real possibility. Now, I mean, is it probable? Probably not. But it's a very real possibility that whoever did this did not do it unintentionally. That did it intentionally.
Yeah.
So, whatever, it was a staffer, or it was Mike Walls himself,
mm-hmm.
who wanted to point out something but not be the guy. Mm-hmm. You know, he wanted to be the guy but not be the guy. Mm-hmm. And you're talking about, these are defense. I mean, we talk about these people like they're idiots.
They're not.
And they kind of are idiots.
Well,
but
anybody that's
these are the top defense officials in the United States right now that are involved in a lot of espionage shit, a lot of psyop shit, a lot of ops, just a lot of ops. You know, they understand how all this shit works better than us. And, I mean, a leak is a leak is a leak. You know what I mean? So either you intend to or don't. I would like to think more so to myself in my brain that this was intentional by somebody.
Right.
Because the idea of it just being so fucking stupid is appalling to me. You know?
Like, I want
it to actually be intentional.
Yeah, like...
And find out the real story there.
Right. Like, I just was thinking, like, maybe somebody was trying to leak it so they could stop the attack.
Stop the attack or stop this reckless bullshit that's going on, like using this signal chat. Like, they were included in it. They were ordered by the president or vice president or chief of staff, whoever, to be in this chat. Mm-hmm. And they're like, this is not how we do this. Yeah. And they were like, Tony, can you add Jeffrey Goldberg from the Atlantic into this text chain?
Yeah.
Not telling your assistant what it's all even about.
Yeah.
You know, let's get this number in this text chain. Not even say his name. Let's get this number and this number and this number in this text chain. I'm gonna forward them to you. Get those all together, and then we're going to go from there. I got a message I have to send out via Signal.
Right.
And yeah, I would actually like to believe that more so, that there's a hero among them, or maybe even the staffer, who was just like, I need this to come out, rather than it just being so stupid and reckless. Like, before I send out any kind of mass communication, whether it's a mass text, first of all, just everybody just stop unless it's life or death. You know what I mean? Like, please don't add me to another text chain unless it's life or death. We had one recently when you went to the hospital under surgery. That's when you do it. Yep. You know what I mean?
I don't do them any other time.
Yeah.
Unless it's like something we need to talk. Like we have one for
it's fine.
Our other podcasts.
It's fine.
Right?
I just got too many of them right now. But anyway, like, I think about, though, who I want to add everybody. And I think about how their preferences are for this kind of deal.
Yeah, right.
Because most people do not like a text chain.
Right, and I know you hate them, so I only use it when it's absolutely necessary.
And the problem with them is, if I was only on one, it would be fine.
Yeah, but you have
But everybody's on so damn many, and I don't want my phone going off that much, you know,
but
just
when
for anything.
But you know what, though? I think part of it is, too, like me, I was an organizer. I worked in politics.
Yeah.
And that's how...
That's how you communicate. That's all day. Yeah,
right.
I'm not trying to do that. To me, it's just more egregious to me, and I'm sure for them it's more normal thing.
Right.
They're in some serious text chains.
So I want to make you laugh before we wrap. You know,
you can if you want to.
We can sit here. We could sit here all day and just be like, these people are idiots, and this is what this idiot said, and this is what this idiot said. But what we want you to know is that, like, this is not normal. None of this is normal. We shouldn't be thinking like it's normal. And let me just remind you again, this is not normal. And why this is not normal. This is what, so the government, they policy revisions and, something about the Department of Government Efficiency, DOJ, as we call it. DOJ is to preserve all the signal messages. Yeah. And then this moves to aim to address record retention practices and prevent future lapses. What? What is that going to do? DOJ is bad. And then the other funny thing that I saw was investigate efforts. The administration has initiated internal reviews to understand how the breach occurred and implement corrective measures. So I guess, who do you want to guess who volunteered to offer some assistance on that?
Oh, I don't know. Pam Bundy.
No. Who? Elon Musk.
Oh, the fuck you say?
Yeah, he offered to his capacity.
He offered.
As the leader of DOJ for technical expertise to aid in the investigation. Are you fucking kidding me? No. I don't even know who it would be that independent, but somebody independently needs to come in and be investigating all of them. Every last one of them should be on trial. It should be like, the Nuremberg trials? Is that what they were called when all the Nazis got put on trial?
But let's cut it off before we have to get to Nuremberg trials. Let's remember World War II and other egregious times, genocidal times in history, fascist times, and let's learn from them. Let's remember them. Let's honor those times and cut it off before it gets there.
They have not learned.
Well, we've learned and we remember. We've learned and we remember. And we have to do better. We have to do better.
You said you'd be mine. Yesterday was cold and bare.
All right. Do you want to move on to the next? I've said everything that I possibly can say about this. We'll keep you updated on where it goes, but this is not going away.
No matter how much. They're just gonna keep doing stupid shit as long as Pete Hegseth is there. He's got stupid tattooed on his chest, so that just means he's gonna keep doing stupid shit, like fist bumps and hearts. Okay, we're gonna take a small little break. And
you want to take a break?
Well, yeah. We need to take a break, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk to you about some other bullshit that
Elon Musk is involved in.
That
motherfucker.
He's every fucking where. Go get some water. I hope everybody got their snacks. We're back. Hi, Travis.
Hi.
How you doing?
Excellent. So we wanted to talk about one more subject here at the end of the show, and it's of particularly interest for us here in the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, it should apply to everyone that's listening, because we're talking about buying elections here. We're talking about buying elections in the United States of America in 2025. And I know a lot of people have theories, and outright evidence, really, of how Elon Musk not necessarily bought the presidential election, but at least, I mean, his funding didn't hurt. His funding and his support didn't hurt Trump's election. And now, he paid
for it, basically.
He paid a majority of it. But now he's doing that in the state of Wisconsin. So we have a law in the state of Wisconsin that says an auto manufacturer cannot own a dealership in the state of Wisconsin. It has to be a third-party ownership of the dealership. And Tesla is suing the state of Wisconsin, Elon Musk company, to allow them to change the law to allow dealers to or allow manufacturers to own dealerships in the state of Wisconsin.
Right. So I think back up.
Yeah.
So we gotta slow down for a second.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a Supreme Court race.
Right.
In Wisconsin.
Right.
Right.
A state Supreme Court race. Right.
And it is very important.
Right.
That we don't start allowing billionaire Nazis to...
Or billionaires in general, just people with money.
Well, oligarchs. Let's use the word oligarchs, because that's what's going on. We don't let the oligarchs buy any elections. Anywhere, right? Because this is not just... It is about, for us, it's about Wisconsin, because that's where we live. But for everyone else... This shouldn't be.
If the precedent is set here, then it's going to happen in all your states too.
Right. And so this man has spent $20 million to support
over that
Brad Schimmel. Probably over that, because I thought I saw an estimate $30 million the other day.
It's hard to pinpoint a figure because it's between his personal contributions and also the contributions of his companies and the PACs that he supports.
Yes,
all that.
It's all over the place. Okay, and so his involvement has contributed to this election becoming the most expensive judicial race in the United States history. Okay?
Over $80 million.
Let me just tell you something about Wisconsin. It's not all that, okay? Like, I have worked the past 2 judge Supreme Court races in Wisconsin, okay? I increased voter turnout in the inner city by 300% at one point. No one is spending that much money on a judge race. And judges are important. This is not for us to say that they're not important. But when you see the caliber of what the money is being spent on, Travis, talk about one of those commercials. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I might have overstepped, but I just am like...
That's why we're talking about this right here. Because in the ads that you see... on all your streaming services, if you're in the state of Wisconsin, and in all your TV stations, we've got the Schimmel versus Crawford ads, and they're accusing each other of who's tough on crime and who's going to let the murderers out and who's going to let the child molesters go free and everything. And that's typical judge, you know, what you're going to get in a judge's race, right?
Okay,
but nobody is really talking about this real issue here.
Please
go ahead.
Me. A Supreme Court judge don't got nothing to do with who is getting out of prison.
Right.
And okay, so now...
We're talking about their past record as judges.
Exactly.
Right?
So I saw that commercial. What was that? Was that over here?
Probably.
Because, I don't have commercials on my streaming services unless it's Tubi.
Yeah.
And you're kind of forced to on Tubi because... Mr. Foxman said, my app will always be free. Yeah. Deal with the commercials. Yeah. So, and I mean, that's nice of him, I guess, because his music news station is so shitty. But I digress. So, I saw one of their commercials, and it was like her just saying, it's a clip from her defending her prosecutorial record that they've taken out of context. So if anybody has seen that commercial, please know that she is not defending letting child molesters go free. Like,
if you think any judge is doing that,
if
you think any judge on either side of the aisle is doing that, I mean, I don't know what to tell you then. Maybe you should probably stop voting.
And then how are you excessively progressive?
Fucking voting.
How are you excessively progressive? Like, she just helped too many people who needed help, and she showed mercy. Let me tell you something, human beings. We are so not merciless in this country. And for people who are so puritanical that supposedly started this country, I hate it here. Because we don't forgive nobody.
No, we really don't.
We don't forgive anybody. Oh, now it's dark.
Sorry.
It's okay. So I just want to say, like, this situation underscores a broader debate about the impact of significant financial contributions in and on our democratic process, and like for the potential, I hate saying potential, for wealthy individuals to sway elections and policy decisions. Right. It's been happening our whole life. That's what lobbyists are for. People pay lobbyists to go to Congress, the state house, down to your county office to talk to lawmakers and sway them to do something that is in the best interest of whatever constituency has hired the lobbyist. Not saying that lobbyists are bad. I know a lovely lobbyist. She's not lobbying anymore, but her name is Lisa Pugh. She taught me everything that I know. And she was the lobbyist for Disability Rights Wisconsin, which is the state disability rights office. They are there because of a law called the American Disabilities Act. Every state should have a disability rights office. So she goes and she lobbies on behalf of the state of Wisconsin through that agency for people who have disabilities. That's a good thing.
Right.
Because they deserve a voice, right?
It's an advocacy thing.
It is.
I mean, we need people to
advocate for the common good, not for Mr. Fat Cat,
not
Fat
for private
Pants.
business interests.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's not what we should be doing. But I mean, that's what the majority of lobbyists are, and that's why they get a bad name, because a lot of them are just they're not associated with charities. Or not, I mean, there are some, but I mean, we're all mad about the ones.
Like HRC is considered it's a 50c3. They also have a political arm, right?
Right.
They have a lobbyist,
right,
but they're lobbying on the behalf of underserved community, right? To make sure that the lives of queer folks, gay folks, lesbians, and all of us in the alphabet gang are not out here being persecuted like what's about to happen. But I digress. Travis, continue. Sorry.
Well, where did we live off? I mean, we're talking about we're talking about the Supreme Court race, and so the right now as it stands, the Wisconsin State Supreme Court is 8 seats, correct? Mm-hmm. 8 seats total, which is
7. It's
7 seats total, right?
Yes.
And so this would bring the total to the Republican majority, right?
If Susan wins... Oh, no, there's a vacant seat, so there's 8.
Right.
So if Susan wins, it would be a liberal majority. If Brad Schimmel wins, I think it would go up to a tie. Or maybe we just have 7. This is what happens when we go in blind.
It's 7 members. Right.
So who retired?
Not sure, but this would the point is that this would swing the balance in the majority for the conservatives on the court, and they're more than likely going to, if the issue gets to the Wisconsin Supreme Court of Wisconsin, of Tesla suing the state of Wisconsin, if it gets there, they're probably going to rule in his favor. Okay. And so it's not directly buying an outcome that you want, but it's putting all the cards in the deck in your favor. You know, you're stacking the fucking deck in your favor. And then you're like helping somebody out, and it's just pay for play kind of shit. You know?
Yep, like
and you're
Trump
not supposed it's supposed to be illegal in this country, and it's supposed to be against election laws. And Elon is offering people $100 to sign petitions. He's offering 2 $1 million prizes.
Okay, so wait, let me make sure that the people don't come for us.
Right.
So it's Musk's America PAC launched a petition drive compensating individuals opposing activist judges, offering $100 per referral of swing state voters. Additionally, Musk announced a plan to personally hand over 1 million checks. 1 million checks to 2 voters who signed the petition, and a move, so Josh, my good old buddy Josh Call, challenged as a violation of state laws. Now, didn't he do that in the presidential election?
Yes,
wasn't he out there giving out $1 million checks?
Yes, he was doing it in Pennsylvania. Number 1 battleground state, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. And what happened in Pennsylvania? I mean, I'm not saying it would have changed the outcome, but, I already seen people all over social media for the last couple of days, my social media, people that I am friends with and I thought were on one side of issues, but being like $100 is $100. And I understand times are super tough now. Eggs are super expensive. Gas is super expensive.
Still not signing.
But you know what? You know what is something you cannot buy is my fucking morals. And I need more than $100 than almost anybody right now. And I will not take that money. I will not take that money and sacrifice my morals. That food won't taste good. Okay? That food won't taste good, and it won't nourish my body, and it won't nourish my soul.
Not at all.
Okay? So keep your money, man. And don't send me any checks from the federal government from Doge savings either. You can kiss my ass. And if you think I won't rip it up live on camera, you're wrong.
Oh, gosh.
Do not send me a refund from Doge.
There's supposed to be Doge refunds?
They're talking about it. Like, I'm not cashing it. Don't send it to my bank account. And if you do, I'm gonna send it, or I'm gonna give it to some queer trans charity. You could bet I will. Okay, maybe I won't even tear it up. Maybe I'll just donate a big ass check. A big whatever you send me, right to some queer trans charity. Yep. Because I don't want your fucking money, man.
Like, I have never been so,
Money is not money, okay? $100 is not $100. You have a soul.
Yeah.
You have morals.
Y'all, Travis never picks the topics for the most part. He contributes, but I'm the brain my brain goes all the time. And I'm like, hey, Travis, what do you think about this? And he just goes, okay. But he was like, no, we have to talk about this.
Because, this is the kind of shit that pisses me off. This goes against the very idea of this country and what we're about. Mm-hmm. And the fair and equal treatment of us all. And the fact that our elections are not fair and equal.
This is like, it's like a bad...
When the process breaks down, then the entire system breaks down. Okay? When the fair and equal process breaks down, where we all have the same voice and we all have the same vote, when that breaks down, then no other part of democracy can survive.
Nope.
After that, over. It all breaks down and it all becomes this ultra-capitalist fucking Biff Tannen hell. Y'all saw Back to the Future?
Yes,
and the Biff Tannen future?
Yes.
That's what we're going to live in. Okay, we're talking about building fucking casinos in the Gaza Strip. Okay, that's Biff Tannen's fucking dream. You really want to live in that joke of a future? Because I don't.
No, I don't. I don't know. Y'all.
Right or wrong, you cannot buy my vote for anything. Whatever I decide to vote, you cannot fucking buy my vote, ever. Even if I choose to abstain, you can't buy my fucking vote.
Right.
Okay, that is a choice that I make in any election. Knowing full well the consequences of doing such. But you can't buy it for any reason. Even one that I support. Even if I was gonna vote Democrat and fucking Bill Gates was out here telling me, here's $100, signed it. You were going to do it anyway. No, get the fuck out of here. And it's easy for me to say that because it's not happening right now. But at the same time, this is outrageous to me. This is outrageous to me.
It is outrageous.
So I highly suggest, I'm going to have this show out on Monday. The election's tomorrow. Whoever gets to listen to this before it happens, great. I hope we helped you make your decision. Mm-hmm. Whatever you're going to choose. If you're going to choose to be a shithead and take the $100 and vote for Brad Schimmel, whatever. Or you're going to choose to vote for him because that's who you were going to vote for anyway and not take the $100, more power to you. Okay? But I implore you to vote against this kind of corruption in our election system.
Man, we're voting for
Susan Crawford is the choice. Even if you don't agree with her past record that we see in the TV ads, and we all know it's hyperbole and lies anyway. Okay? Yeah. Vote against what Elon Musk is trying to do here. Mm-hmm. And that vote is for Susan Crawford.
Yep. Here's the thing. You know, this whole argument about lesser of two evils. It's not the lesser of two evils. It's what's right and what's wrong.
Especially in this situation. Yeah. It's about right and wrong.
Right.
And it can be okay in situations like this to just vote against the corruption, which is voting for Susan Crawford.
Right.
No doubt about it. Even if you don't agree with what she's done in the past or that she's a liberal judge or anything like that, she is not going to let pedophiles out of jail. She is not going to let murderers out of jail. Fentanyl is not going to run rampant through our streets because Susan Crawford is elected.
Again,
she wants to lock up criminals. Trust me.
The Supreme Court in a state operates like this federal, like the judicial federal court in the United States. So like the SCOTUS, your state Supreme Court is like the SCOTUS of your state. And it is the SCOTUS of your state. Like, it is. So, like, they're not... Like, those commercials are horrible. And they're meant to
on both sides. They're ridiculous. Yeah, because one side does it and the other side is forced to do it because they have to match the rhetoric or they're not going to win.
And she may very well have given someone a shorter sentence, or I don't know, but like
there's circumstances. We're not hearing all the stories from all that shit.
Yeah, so we don't know the truth.
There's even the possibility, if Susan, in the world of infinite possibilities, there's a possibility that Susan Crawford is elected and she decides to vote in favor of Tesla changing it.
Hush your
and
mouth.
I am okay with that if she hears the evidence and decides that that is the correct judgment to make, but that decision was not bought by anybody.
Yes.
She came to that decision, and I'm okay with her doing that. Or any judge doing that, as long as they're not bought for that purpose. We can argue then about that issue, but the first issue is that you cannot buy that vote.
Right. I get what you're saying. So people who don't have any stake in this game, again, this could happen to you, okay?
It will happen to you. If it happens here, it will happen to you.
So, I just looked at this and it says, support initiatives and legislation that call for greater transparency in campaign financing. Organizations like the Brennan Center for Justice, I wanted to work there. I'm all about justice. And I met like the executive director at the time. I met her and I was like, I want to come work there. So I want to thank all of you for hanging in there today. We talked about two tough things. One, one will be over soon, and the other one, I don't think it's ever going to be over because we're going to, I think we should meet the text messages like the gusto they did with her emails. But what about those text messages, Travis? What about the text messages? Like, I think that we should just say that randomly to Trump supporters.
No, because you'll just be a hysteric. You'll just be a hysteric woman. They'll just demean you. They'll just call you names and dismiss you and demean you.
What about their emails, though? Or what about Hunter's laptop?
Fake news.
Fake news? Okay.
Fake news.
Well, I mean, fake news. Everything was fake news anyway.
Fake news.
Travis, this is the damage report. Do we do anything to anybody on the damage report?
We don't do nothing.
No, we don't do not. No,
we just killed them all. We just killed them all.
We just killed everybody with our prowess and smarts.
We don't need to be calling anyone else out. This whole show is calling.
Yes, we call them
out.
We call everybody out. Travis is mad.
I'm mad.
He's got on his 8 Mile hoodie today, y'all. I mean, some of y'all might get to see, because I did record all of this on the video. But he's got on his 8 Mile hoodie.
I didn't get enough sleep last night. I'm over this shit. I'm over this shit.
Yeah, the world is not an amazing place. But y'all are amazing. So remember to follow us on all our socials.
And you know what? We also didn't even mention this whole race. I mean, about like really the abortion ban and stuff too, which is a huge part of this.
Yes.
We didn't even mention that because all of those decisions.
It's just
the financial part of this, the Elon Musk of this, supersedes all this other shit because none of that other shit even matters. Like abortion, super important in this race. Crime, super important. All that stuff, all the cases that could be coming before the Supreme Court, super important. But what supersedes all that is buying the goddamn election. I'm sorry, I had to mention that. Go ahead.
Election buying. Okay, so what Travis is talking about is. It's not that. I have a little note about it. So, we have a law from like 1849 here.
In Wisconsin,
sorry. So again, sorry people who are not from Wisconsin. And, that's not it either. Let's see. Where's the note? Bear with me, people.
Well, I mean, it goes to the fact that
like we're supposed to be like they truly could make that permanent. Like the legislature, like Robin Voss and his cronies that don't have vaginas, want to make that permanent. So that means that we would go back to a law that was made before they had the right equipment to even do an abortion.
A safe abortion.
A safe abortion. Sorry,
right.
A safe abortion.
Right.
So we like poor Travis is so distraught that we can't even talk about that.
We can't even talk about the real issues because we have to get to the first thing.
Which is money.
Exactly.
In our bullshit, there's so much money and it's not to help people.
All right, so
yeah, I guess we're done.
We're out of here.
I hope you all
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There'll be more stuff. Oh, hopefully by the end of the week, there might be at least one episode of Men Behaving Badly. So we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.
We'll make you thinner of the senseless.